We're here with Mr. Eric Lang at UK Games Expo 2024. Eric, lovely to see you. What are you showing off today?
We are showing off, here it is.
Ba-bam!
I've covered the this is Life in Reterra by Hasbro. This is the, I'm not exaggerating when I say it's possibly the most ambitious game I've ever done.
Really?
I would say it is it's the most epic, large, discoverable, broad market game I think that you can get.
Wow.
So this is a game that has all the replayability and discoverability of a game like Dominion, but but it's teachable in 2 minutes. It's intuitive. It's got a lot of video game sort of logic to it.
Nice.
And my co-designer Ken and I have both been in mass market for the last 3.5 years, and we've been really spending good time, like making sure that we can make a game that has all the depth of the games we're used to, but accessible to a broader audience.
Amazing stuff. How have you managed to achieve that? That's such a huge statement. That's
a lot
amazing.
of blood, a lot of sweat, some tears too.
Yeah, I bet. No, amazing.
Yeah, I spent the last 3.5 years sort of almost like monastically like deconstructing my own career and just sort of reconnecting with my roots. Like I grew up playing like classic games like Perfections, Categories, Balderdash. Like I still love those kind of games, and I'm sort of reconnecting with that and playing games with my family only. And I stopped playing hobby games for a year just to drop my complexity levels back to where I used to be, right?
Yeah. Decompressing.
Well, I mean, you internalize a lot of complexity the more games that you play, right?
Quite
and
right.
so
You're 100% right. Yeah.
I wanted to make a game that, when I make games now for family, I want to assume no knowledge, right? I want to assume this game is new to them, and they may have played like video games or they may have played like classic parlor games, but not hardcore board games.
Yeah.
So I'm just resetting back to zero and going like, I can use found knowledge from other sources, but not necessarily from like board game games.
Yeah, you're quite right. Because there's plenty of times when I'm trying to introduce a game to someone and it sort of assumes that they know what deck building is, or assumes that they know what workplace is,
or etc. That's right. I'm assuming nothing. I don't even assume people know what tile drafting is. We explain it in this game.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
But for board gamers, like it's got tile drafting, it's got combos, it's got a little bit of point salad. It's got some like cool ways to score. 10,000 plus combinations of play.
Wow.
There's 30 buildings in the game. Each one is impactfully different. You switch one building, you change your game.
Amazing
stuff. It's everything I love in games, but in a 30-minute playtime.
30 minutes playtime as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about the gameplay flow then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, so are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
So you're rebuilding a community competitively out of tiles from the center.
Yeah.
So on your turn, you're going to grab a tile from the center and you're going to add it to your community. See these shiny, amazing little shiny diffraction gears?
Yeah.
Those are going to house, once you added a tile to your community, you will then get to interact with that tile by either adding a person to it, an inhabitant, or saving up to build one of those buildings. If you can put multiple tiles together, with on the same land type with the same gear, you can then build one of the buildings from the spread.
Nice.
And those the larger the building, the more gears of the same type it needs. Right? Okay. And each building has a different scoring pattern or a different ability that it gives you. So generally speaking, I mean, I'm going to go in depth with you a little bit. Right? So every game has 2 small buildings, which are generally worth about 2 points, but they have extra scoring riders that give you a little puzzle to solve, like the school, right? The school is 2 points, but it's worth an extra 2 points if you have more visible relics, these guys, than both your neighbors do. So a little competition, right? The middle, these 3-point buildings, they're worth some more points, but they give you cool abilities that nobody else gets, right? So like the infirmary, like gets you free people every turn that you can put on top of your buildings in that region. So if you build a big region with those, you can keep scoring extra people.
Oh, nice.
Or the farm lets you throw junk tokens on your opponent, like lets you literally throw compost at your neighbors to cover up their relics and interact with them.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a big building that's sort of end game style building. If you want to build around that, you have to sacrifice a lot else, but you can go for big stuff like the public square. Takes the biggest land type in your building and scores for that.
Fabulous.
Right?
You have a lot of player interaction points as well. It looks like.
It's scalable. Depending on which, the game really does, it's a chameleon, right? So There are some versions of the game that has almost no player interaction, just
Yeah.
do your own puzzles. There's some like Deadly Neighbors that have tons of like
Yeah.
negative interaction, and everywhere in between. Covers the whole spectrum.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Is Life in Reterra available now to buy at the expo?
It is pre-order at
Pre-order?
Hasbro. In the US, you can get it at Target.com. It'll be available globally later this year.
Okay.
They are rolling it out slowly because they're doing territory by territory.
Okay. So Europe definitely by Essence Spiel, maybe?
I hope so. Unfortunately, I'm not an employee of Hasbro,
Yeah,
so I
fair
can't
play.
say.
But maybe.
I hope so.
Of course, I would like to grab a copy of this to 100% check this out because this looks absolutely fabulous. Eric, thank you so much for spending some time with us and hanging out and talking about Life in Reterra.
Oh, my pleasure.
Appreciate you. If you liked this, please check out the rest of the content, hit the subscribe button, and please go check out Life in Reterra.